What's going on, people? We are Tottenham TV here, back here with another episode of Player Ratings. Finally, a win to talk about as we beat West Brom 2-0 at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. I mean, everyone can just breathe a sigh of relief because it's just so good to get back to winning ways, isn't it?
Yeah, I wasn't sure where our next one was going to come from. I was worried for this game a bit, but then hearing this, as soon as you saw Kane back in the lineup, I think everyone just got a bit of a lift from that, and including the team. And I think it worked wonders for us. And I think that's a lot of the reason why we end up getting 3 points today.
Let's get straight into it. Let's start off with Hugo Lloris. We gave him a 7. Fairly untested, as we say usually with Hugo Lloris. When he was called into action at the end of the first half with Diagna's header, did really well. But apart from that, fairly untested.
That's all he had to do all the game, wasn't it? A really good save as well. It was from close range, and he did well to keep that in front of the line. But yeah, he should never have been so free in the box for that header. But it was a good save, and that was the only thing he had to do all afternoon.
All right, Serge Aurier, we gave him an 8. Absolutely brilliant performance from Serge, in my opinion. Definitely in the runners for man of the match, if not the man of the match. He went off with 20 minutes to go with holding his calf, which was quite worrying, seeing as if he's injured, that leaves a hole with us at right back because Matt Doherty just hasn't done it yet. So that worries me a bit. But in terms of his whole performance, really good, aggressive. He was high up the pitch for most of the game, and you got to say it's a really good performance, and he was putting in good balls into the box as well. Yeah,
really strong first hour before he went off injured. He was a constant outlet on the right hand side. The amount of times he was being found time after time again was really, really impressive. I thought he was giving Townsend no end of trouble, always coming forward and giving him something to think about. And nearly scored as well near the end of the first half. Really good header, which was saved by the keeper. Probably will be disappointed he didn't score. And he could have got other assists as well with decent crosses in the box, as you were saying. So I was really happy with him, and no defensive lapses either. So be a blow if he's out for any extended period of time. We'll have to wait and see on that, but it didn't look good.
Yeah. Moving on to Ben Davies, we gave him a 6. I mean, we give him a 6, but it's actually much better performance than he has been putting in the last 3 weeks. I mean, we've given him 3s and 4s and what have you. So I'm happy with Ben Davies' performance, much better. And he was also getting forward a lot as well. I think in the first half, him and Aurier really pushed up the pitch. He was providing a good outlet on that left-hand side, defensively sound as well. A couple of mishaps when he was caught a bit out of position. But all in all, I think it was okay from Ben.
Yeah, it was definitely better than what we've shown recently, which he's been pretty horrendous, and we're worried he was going to suffer from burnout as well. And it was good he had a decent performance, and I thought he acquitted himself well. Could have done better when he was in the final third, but a couple of times Snodgrass caught him out, and he cut inside and getting balls into the box. Luckily, both those goals from that side were offside, so it didn't affect us. But he's got to watch out for those kind of moments, Ben Davies. But other than that, yeah, it was pretty solid. It wasn't his most testing evening for him, so yeah, pretty decent game.
Which moves us on to Toby Alderweireld. We give him a 7. Flawless, in my opinion, defensively. I thought he'd done really well, and I think he's kind of catapulted himself in there to being our number 1 centre-back now. I really do. I think it's just a case of who is going to partner Toby Alderweireld at the back. And I got to say, I'm really happy with Toby Alderweireld's performance. It's not like he was tested and he was suffering from wave and wave after West Brom, but with everything that came his way, I thought he dealt with.
Yeah, I mean, as you say, it wasn't his most difficult evening. I thought the big striker up front, Diagna, was giving him a bit of trouble, but he dealt with it pretty well. Didn't have to do too much. I thought his positionally, every time the ball was going over the top, he was always there in the right position to make sure he didn't have to run back in position or make tackles or anything. He was always in the right place at the right time, which is what Toby, when he's at his best, is what he's best at. He played on the left-hand side as opposed to the right. I don't think his passing is as good when he's on the left-hand side. He's kind of cross it instead of on the right-hand side, but it's just something you have to deal with when he's partnered with Sanchez. And yeah, I hope he's our number 1 centre-back, because he's the one. He might not be the most physically as good as he was, but he's the one whose concentration's always there. He's not making really stupid errors, and hopefully if he has a centre-back next to him who can do the running for him, it's the best solution.
And he's that experienced head that can shepherd the centre-back next to him into also having a good game.
Exactly.
Which moves us on to his next-door centre-back, Davinson Sanchez. We gave him a 6. Look, there were some good moments in there from Davinson. There were some bad moments. Let's start off with the bad moments, because that chance at the end of the first half where we said Lloris made the good save, he was completely ball watching there as the ball came over the top. Completely ball watching. So
common theme with Davinson.
Very common theme, exactly. So I think that it was the best chance of the game, and you've got to put your finger at Sanchez there for it. Second half, there were 2 disallowed goals in there from West Brom. The first one, I thought he had no clue the player was behind him, and again, lack of concentration there. The second goal, I thought he did well to kind of hold the line and play the man offside, so that was good there from Davinson Sanchez. But all in all, I thought, apart from those 2 mishaps I spoke about, I thought it was a good game from Davinson Sanchez, and I thought the thing that he did really well that impressed me is the way he came out into the midfield to grab the ball and was aggressive, kind of to make his way into midfield to grab the ball to clear the lines kind of thing, pass it astray. So all in all, I thought it was a good performance from Davinson Sanchez, but he's got to watch himself in these mishaps.
Yeah, I thought it was a bit more composed, especially on the ball. He was a lot more likely to not take on a player, but he doesn't crap himself when he was being closed down. He was able to. He was able to. Pass.
He doesn't do a Dyer.
Yeah, literally. He was able to pass it with composure to feet and into guys showing for the ball. But then you got to argue. When you're seeing clips of Sissoko, against Chelsea, not showing for the ball, maybe that's part of a reason where his passing is so poor, because there's no one to pass it to. But definitely with Tanguy there, showing for it, moving around for him, and being an outlet, it was a lot easier for Sanchez. But yeah, I mean, he's got to watch himself with that ball watching. It happens way too many times, and he's been caught out from it too many times for us to say it's not a problem and it's nothing to worry about, because it is something to worry about. And hopefully, I mean, if he hasn't learned by now about those kind of moments, I don't know if he ever was. Maybe it's just something you have to put up with Sanchez when he plays. But that's the sad reality. But I thought overall he had a pretty decent game, and he dealt with most things that came to him during the game. Just a few key moments that would have bothered probably Mourinho as well, not just us.
Yeah, I just feel that against better opposition, he would have been found out more.
That's
today.
That's the problem. But would I persist with him and Toby? Probably, yeah.
I don't think I would. I really don't think I would. I think I'd put a Joe Rodon in there. But anyway, let's move on to Pierre-Emile Hojbjerg. We gave him an 8. And Le General was back to his best today. I thought absolutely sensational performance from the middle of the park. As you can see on the screen now, 2 of his 3 tackles won, 7 of his 9 duels won, 121 touches on the pitch. And also, which I noticed during the game, was his passing, because 90% pass completion rate. And I thought his passing was really on point today, as it showed for the assist for Kane's goal. So you got to look. Pierre-Emile Hojbjerg was back to his best today. Back to his aggressive, taking no shit self in that centre midfield, and I thought it was a brilliant performance.
And that's what he did. He led the line in terms of when we lost possession. He was squeezing up right, suffocating West Brom. He was helping that midfield, and you can see he was leading the charge every time West Brom lost possession. As you said, great assist, that through ball, reminiscent of his through ball for Serge Aurier early in the season. Really fantastic, eye of the needle stuff to open the scoring as well. That's a 0-0, so it's a really crucial moment in the game where we're there's a bit of anxiety. People are wondering, are we going to score? We know we keep missing chances, but he did really well in that aspect to find Kane in the box and to set him up really well. And I thought his passing in general was really, really good. I really did, and I was very happy with that. And I thought he struck up a decent partnership with Ndombele as well. So I was happy with his performance.
All right, which moves us on to Tanguy Ndombele. We gave him a 7. It was a good performance. I wouldn't say his best performance, but I thought that he showed that he can play in that double pivot alongside Pierre-Emile Hojbjerg. He was getting the ball a lot of the times in the middle of the park, trying to make stuff happen. And it's just such a breath of fresh air to have someone like him in the middle, as opposed to someone like Moussa Sissoko, who's hardly running, can't pass the ball, and really lacks quality on the ball. To have someone in that middle of the park who can provide such quality on the ball. Yes, he didn't provide it as much as we would have liked in this game, but I felt that it was enough to show that he can do what he can do.
Yeah, I really think that having Tanguy in the double pivot opens up a lot of possibilities for our team that were closed when he's in the number 10 position. And I think it showed today when he's in the double pivot. Lamela gets to play a bit further forward, and we have another guy in Lamela who's able to press, who has quality on the ball in the final third and has more space. When Ndombele was a bit deeper today, I thought defensively he was fairly strong. I thought his pressing was helping Hojbjerg a lot.
I thought that was his better play today, defensively. Yeah,
I think on the ball he wasn't as, Tanguy as he usually is, you know what I mean? Because he's always got 3 players around him, and he's dribbling he's in working tight spaces and stuff. He didn't kind of have to do that today. He had a different role, and I kind of feel like he thrives on that, if you know what I mean. I kind of feel like when you give it the ball in space and he's not in tight areas, right? He has the ball in space, but he doesn't like drive into the space. He does it. He kind of stands still a bit. Yeah, but when you give it to him in tight spaces with men around him, and then when he's to think about how to fix the problem and what he's in, like
it's
where to go.
It's pure instincts.
Exactly. He loves to work on the instincts. So that's something he has to work on. I'm sure he can work on it and work on how to appreciate the space that you have and work on his passing range when he has time and space in a deeper area, which I'm sure he'll work on. But I thought defensively he did a really good job for the team, and he was always showing for the team as well.
He always looks like he wants the ball, doesn't he?
Yeah, that's the beauty of it. Like Sissoko, like you just doesn't fill you confidence when he's receiving the ball with his back to goal inside your own half. But with Tanguy, you just know it doesn't matter if a guy's pressing him or not. If he's going to turn, he's going to start attacks, and he's going to be a lot better in that position. So I think we need to persist with Tanguy in this position, him and Hojbjerg and helping each other. I think that's the way to go, and it could give our team a bit of a lease of life. I'm hoping.
Let's move on to Heung-min Son. We gave him a 7. Took his goal really, really well. I thought he was a bit quiet, Sonny. I thought he was doing a lot of running, a lot of good work for the team. But in terms of output, I thought he was fairly quiet. He did have 3 chances on goal and finally did take his goal. And I think his confidence will grow from that. Because I felt that in the last couple of games, Sonny has been kind of lacking from confidence. And you could see that in his finishing. Now he's got that goal behind him. I think his first goal for a while now, Sonny.
First goal since Leeds.
Exactly. So first goal since the beginning of January. So now he's got that under his belt. Now he's got Kane back supporting him. I back him to go on a big run again.
He said he misses Kane. He said in his post-match press conference and in his post-match interview, and I don't blame him because Kane provides so much for him. I thought in the first half he was stuck a bit too far out wide. I thought he was a bit. That's what a big reason why he was a bit anonymous in that first half, because he was always. On the fullback was always man marking him, and they were doubling up on him with the winger as well, and it was tough for him to get any joy. Second half, I felt like he moved more central. He moved kind of in between the centre back and the fullback, making those runs, making it difficult to be picked up. And you saw that immediately within a minute. Kane finds him through on goal, and he has that shot which is saved by Sam Johnston. Was a really good save and really great move by Spurs. And obviously he does get the goal on the counter attack using his pace, helping Lucas and Lamela. And if Son doesn't make that run, that attack breaks down. So really crucial movement. Really good play by Lucas to find him, and the finish, keeper probably should have done better. He'll probably look at it thinking he should have done better. There was a lot of power on it, a lot of whip, and it was a good finish. And hopefully that can give him confidence now. To go on a bit of run again, like he does when Kane's in the side. So he has been a bit off form recently, and it wasn't his best performance, but at least he got a goal and he was showing definitely signs of improvement. Yeah.
Let's move on to Erik Lamela. We gave him an 8, and I felt Erik Lamela provided us today with basically everything that we were missing against Brighton and against Chelsea. He provided that pressing from the front. He provided that pure aggression and passion in the team, which we'd been missing the last couple of weeks. And also, he was providing quality on that pitch as well. I thought he was in there, he was creating, he was a busybody. He looked like he was everywhere in that pitch, especially in that first half. And I'm so happy for Erik Lamela to put in that performance. And I felt that him and Lucas, which we'll get on to next, I felt that both of them were really providing stuff for us that Bergwijn and Sonny as well haven't really been providing us the last couple of games.
Yeah, Mourinho spoke in his post-match press conference about the compromise Lamela was giving to the team, because when we were off the ball, he was always the first one to press the guy on the ball. He was always the first one to come back and help the midfield. He was always the first one to give himself up for the team, and that's what you always know. We always praise Lamela, that he's always going to give you. I thought in the final third, he was patient. He was providing a bit of added quality, a bit of incisiveness as well.
Didn't see many ball rolls today.
Yeah, not many ball rolls. He was playing some really good passes into like Aurier and to the fullback. He'll probably be a bit disappointed he didn't get a goal or assist because the last pass didn't come off or something. But I thought it was a really good display, and he just provided energy that we needed. That energy from an attacking player, which has been missing. And Mourinho was delighted with his performance, and I was really happy with his performance as well. Obviously, against a different opposition, we'll have to wait and see. But against West Brom, he was definitely well worthy of his place.
All right, which moves us on to Lucas Moura. We gave him an 8. And a lot of the things I said about Lamela, I want to repeat for Lucas Moura as well, because I thought he added something very similar that Erik Lamela added. The difference was that he could get the ball on the ground, actually beat a few men and make stuff happen as well, although Lamela was doing that too. So I think Lucas Moura provided a lot of aggression, a lot of passion as well, and actually working really hard for the team. And like I said, he was beating men, he was making stuff or trying to make stuff happen. And another good display from Lucas Moura, who I've been very critical of this season.
Yeah, I thought he had a chance to start the game. We thought in the predicted line he would start because Bergwijn hadn't been doing it, and I think he took his chance pretty well. I thought he was, again, him and Lamela, I think both of them were doing a really, really good job for the team defensively in terms of pressing forward and suffocating West Brom. And without that, we don't sustain attacks. We don't keep the ball. And we didn't give West Brom any sort of encouragement when they were on the ball that they were going to have time and space on it because of what Lucas and Lamela were doing, which was really great. Obviously, he got that amazing assist for the second goal, dribbling past 2-3 players on the break and playing in Heung-min Son for the finish. It was a really great run. And obviously, Kane does well to get it to him, but that goal doesn't happen if it wasn't for Lucas Moura's industry. You saw in the first few minutes he did that run into the box, didn't he? Going past a couple of players, you felt like he was in the mood today.
Yeah.
Because sometimes you just get that feeling with Lucas, he's in the mood and he's gonna do something special. And a lot of the time he's anonymous and he's frustrating, but at least today he did a really good job for the team, and I'm happy with him.
Yeah. And last of the starting 11, Harry Kane. We gave him an 8. Surprise inclusion in the starting lineup today. And
he got a goal. It says he didn't get a goal. But anyway.
Yeah. I mean, it says he didn't get a goal, but he most definitely did get a goal. But in terms of Harry Kane, back at it again, back to his best today. I thought from minute one he looked like he was on it today, and you saw him taking shots. He was everywhere on the pitch, dropping deep like he does. Like you said just before, with that little touch over on his chest to Lucas
beautiful.
Moura.
Underrated touch.
So Lucas Moura can just go on his run. I mean, he just does. When he's in the team, it just puts you so much more in a confident mood because you know that everyone around him is feeding off his energy. And that's exactly what happened today. Harry Kane, so glad to have him back. Let's just hope he doesn't get injured again.
Yeah, I mean, it really did give everyone a lift in there, having Kane back in the team. You could see that immediately. I thought in the first half, every time people were finding him in decent positions, he was having shots off, he was looking sharp, he was looking to help the team whenever he could, and it was just a shame that in the first half, a few of his efforts went wide and high, and he wasn't really finding his shooting boots. But he had one shot saved, I believe, in the first half. But in the second half, immediately within 10 minutes of the second half, he's got the composure to take one touch, get that pass from Hojbjerg and plant it into the far corner beautifully. He also plays that beautiful through ball to Son as well, just before that, so he could have got an assist as well.
He was a man on a mission today, wasn't he?
He was, and if there were fears that we were rushing him back, they were definitely alleviated by his performance, because it didn't seem like there wasn't the performance of a guy who was nursing an injury. It was a performance of a guy who looked 100% fit to me. So I thought I was really, really good.
And
it was
didn't
a nice
get taken
surprise.
off, played 90 minutes.
He played 90 minutes, which would surprise everyone. He didn't spend any time holding his ankles or anything like that. I can remember during the game, he seemed to come through it well. So I think it's positive that he's back in the team. Obviously, there was a lot of anxiety last couple of games of him being out and us looking so bad. But with him, you always feel like with Kane in the side, you have a chance, don't you? That's that's the feeling he gives you. That's how good he can be. And although I don't like the fact that we rely on him so much, and that's a problem that Jose has to deal with, the fact that whenever he is in the team, everyone comes up a level, it can only be a good thing.
And it also adds like 2 more dimensions to our play, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Because it makes us that more unpredictable. And when Kane isn't in the side, it makes us so predictable. So predictable.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's move on to the manager. We're not going to talk about the subs because they just didn't have enough time. Who came on? Bergwijn came on.
Bergwijn and Doherty didn't do
Doherty
much.
And Dane Scarlett came on for his Premier League debut with the last few minutes. So we won't talk about them too much. But in terms of Jose, I got to say he called it absolutely spot on today. Absolutely spot on. You got to say with the starting lineup today, a criticism that we've had of Jose quite a few times this season is why he keeps picking Eric Dyer with the mistakes he keeps making week in, week out. He did that today. He brought in Davinson Sanchez instead of Toby Alderweireld, and I thought the defence was solid today. In terms of the attack as well, he brought in Erik Lamela and Lucas Moura, which we actually called in the predicted lineup. And I thought it's exactly what we needed. We needed those players with that energy to press from the front. And that's basically what put us on our way to our victory today, in my opinion.
Yeah, he did exactly what we called him to do, put Tanguy in the double pivot, which I think we needed to do in this kind of game before we were going to really be on the front foot and not be stifled with a low block from West Brom. We needed as much ingenuity in the team as possible, and having Ndombele in the double pivot would helps with that. Obviously, selecting Kane straight away, that could have backfired if he wasn't fit enough or anything like that. But he said yesterday Kane trained as normal and trained perfectly, and he was ready, so he put him straight in. And whether or not that's an indictment on who of our squad without him, or whether or not he really felt Kane was 100% fit and he wasn't rushing him back, he was just fit, remains to be seen. But I think it clearly worked because Kane was I thought was fantastic.
Yeah. Probably our best player today.
Yeah, and I think him getting Aurier back involved as well as soon as possible is a good thing. And also putting Lamela and Lucas in there really helped with the team, really helped with the dynamic of the pressing, suffocating West Brom, making sure they can't play out the back, and making sure that we're sustaining attacks and we're not giving up too much encouragement to teams who we're better than, and we've definitely done this season. So positives in the step in the right direction. So a lot of work to do, I feel, in terms of, when we're playing. We've got big games against Everton and Man City, and although Kane's back, it's still going to be big games for him. So we can't let up in how we've played, and I hope he carries on playing. Maybe not against Man City, but I hope against Everton we see again Ndombele in the pivot, and we can go a bit more with more control. Because I really believe, Ndombele, he can compete against any of the centre mids, so why not do it against centre mids like Everton's that they've got? So I'm happy with him. Hopefully he's learning from some of the mistakes he was making, and we can get back on the right path. But I think it's too early to say whether we are yet.
Yeah, I mean, look, it's a step in the right direction. It's a win against the kind of probably the most off-form team in the Premier League. So it's a win that you really expect. And the jury is still out on this team, and if we have turned a corner yet, because you can't really tell just now. I'll be able to tell you a bit more over the next couple of weeks to see if we have, but it's a step in the right direction. That's all we can ask for. That's
all we wanted, isn't it? And
exactly.
That's all you can do, really. You beat them comfortably, and with good attacking football, not looking like you're scraping by, doing it comfortably, and that's all you can do.
Win today.
That's all you can do.
All right, so there you have it. That is our player ratings. Let me know in the comment section below if you agree with our player ratings. If you disagree, put your ratings in the comment section below. Like, subscribe, and comment. And as always, come on, you Spurs.